Welcome to Morning Minutes with myself, Michael Burgio, and Mark Novak. And this morning we're talking about the bottom of the market for residential apartments and commercial, especially retail, in particular, Northern Beaches. This is, if we had to predict the bottom, which is very hard because you only really know it's the bottom when it starts going up, but we're seeing these trends in the last 4 weeks. We're definitely seeing it in the last 2 weeks of rental deals we've had, in particular on Pittwater Road retail. Mark, we're doing some deals, aren't we, in the motion?
Well, last chance, kids, last chance.
Because a lot of owners just want it rented.
You know what sparked my a couple of things sparked me to run this on the show today. One was what you just mentioned, the amount of commercial properties in our core area has like bang disappeared. There's like deal for tenants going in.
Yep.
Two, normally for residential rentals, we have 30 to 40 properties for rent. It went bananas. It went to 67, up and up and up and up and up. Every week we saw our rentals availabilities going up and up and up. So it got all the way up to 67 properties. Only the last 10 days, 7 days, we looked at our numbers again, and the stock that we're holding for lease has gone all the way down to 46 in 1 week. So that's huge.
Jeff, good morning. David, good morning. Lesio, good morning. Michael Edwards, good to have you all on. It's
Barry
great.
Wheeler, Mark J. Pap. Here we go. How are you, lads?
Running on Insta, running on Facebook as well, and the bottom of the market. Love your opinion. I know a couple of you are in real estate as well, so give us a bit of a take on if you guys are seeing a bit of a trend in as well in rentals, not sales at the moment.
Yeah,
because,
but
Mark,
you know what?
Why do you think that is? Why do you think it is?
Positivity. And I've been saying it so much lately. COVID was a cold shower. It was a cold shower for everyone. You know, you get into the cold shower, you're screaming, you're in the cold shower, you're going, you get out of the cold shower 10 minutes later, you're going, shit, that was good. And we've just come out of the COVID cold shower, and people actually are feeling better. They're feeling like it's going to be up and up more. So I'm definitely seeing that with rentals. And look, another one, Michael, that I was talking about off air with you, that I'll bring on air, was we're looking at just taking a little trip, a little breather for 7 days, and our friends are looking for the same thing. Some buddies of ours. Now, what we paid, because we booked 5 weeks ago, compared to what they're looking for that they can't find, they're looking at spending almost 50% more, almost double, and everything's actually already rented. So that window of opportunity, guys and girls, I believe is not just for property, for rentals, or for sale. I believe it's for sales as well, but I believe it's for a lot of things, that it's just about to close. That window where you could get a tradie quite easily, that window where you could get a good buy, it's just about to close, really.
Yeah. So this is the perfect time. And I find it sort of comes back to the people out there at the moment. They're willing to make offers. We've talked about it on the show before, making an offer is free. And that's where I'm seeing the tenants get the deal, especially in commercial. A lot of owners are really negotiable. And here's a bit of a tip if you're looking for commercial property or you work in that industry. A lot of owners won't allow you to market at the level they would take, but they will take it that level. For example, they may have had it rented for 50 grand a year. They want to advertise at 50, but you bring them a deal at 30,000 a year with a good tenant, they will look at it. But you may think, well, why wouldn't you let me market at 30? It's just the nature of the beast. Sometimes it's a bit of a cultural thing. So make it, the one thing we've had great success, especially in the last month, is we're just encouraging people to do offers. Yes, it's been tough, but if we're going to be here, we may as well work and get offers and put it in the owner's hands, because a famous saying Tom Paneth always says is, no offers, agent's fault. Low offers, it's the market. So bring offers to the owners, allow them to say yes or no, because each owner's in a different position financially. And some owners go, yep, it's not going to be a good couple years. Let's just get some money coming in, because some money is better than no money, and we'll be a hero in a couple of years when the market sort of picks up. But let's just get it rented.
And look, by no means am I saying, the economic recovery is over. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying that when that opportunity for super low pricing, where you can secure something, you see what people forget about is with property, you're securing a lease. A lease can last 1 or 3 or 6 years. People forget about that. So if times are great, are wonderful, in 2 years' time, 3 years' time, are booming in those periods, you've locked in a really low rate. It's just, you know what it's just like? Getting an interest rate fix for 5 years or 3 years, right in that right time. That's what I'm talking about, is that window of opportunity right now with leasing.
Yep. And a couple of questions, David and Michael. So David's asked, is there a credible source out there to get up-to-date vacancy rates per month? Quick answer, no.
Real Estate Institute New South Wales do have a go.
Wait, David, if you're talking about commercial, no. Residential, there is property. I do have them. Tom has it. Lewis Christopher from SQM Property does a really good report for suburbs.
So does Michael Burgio.
And so do I.
So can we talk about your report?
Yes. And then to answer Michael Edwards' question, 50K to 30K is about 40% reduction. Is that indicative of how bad the commercial market is? Yes. Ranging from 5 to 40. So that's where it is at the moment. But if you, but it's an opportunity, guys. I really don't I like making money from other people's loss. I think it's a little bit evil and it's the wrong thing to do. Yeah.
But on the flip side, I think that if you can get a good deal, you are helping out a landlord as well. So at the moment, landlords are willing, and you said it yesterday, Michael, the school of hard knocks, the hardest landlords that you have in your world are really negotiable. They're willing to do a deal. So you're not screwing people by getting a low leasing deal.
No, not at all. There's none of that sentiment. Like with all our clients at the moment, they're grateful. Keep in mind, like a lot of these owners have had their property empty for a year, if not longer, and agents aren't bringing them offers. They may, because like I said, they're saying it's 50 grand and agents aren't, there's probably been plenty of people at that level, but they assume what the owner's going to say. And then we've brought the offer and the owner's like, yeah, let's do it, because I'd rather 30 grand now than a year empty. It's a long-term purchase. So a lot of the commercial owners, they've had their properties gone from probably when they've owned it. It's always had swings, because a lot of the time they own it for 10, 20 years, and it can be quite, what's the word? Susceptible, vulnerable. I don't know. It does bounce a bit. It does bounce a bit, but they just know long-term it's okay. So there's definitely, there's definitely no bad sentiment. They're grateful to have a tenant in there. They understand.
Vulnerable is a beautiful word, Michael.
Vulnerable.
Stunning.
And agree with you guys in calling saving for bankruptcy. And also, so one thing, Mark, what you're saying about data, I've tracked. So one thing I've done.
Let's do that. That's really incredible data that you got there. Can you share that? And then I'll you do the.
Yeah, I'll have to go off. Let me jump off Instagram for 2 seconds and I'll do it. You talk.
Oh, hang on. I got it. You want me to bring it up? Hang on.
Oh, bring it on your second phone. Send it to me via Telegram.
Oh, yeah.
But while you're doing that, so one thing I've done, I've actually done it since day one of real estate, but I did lose the first 2 years when we had a virus. Basically, I've tracked the number of listings on realestate.com for residential sales and residential rentals, and commercial for sale, for lease, and our numbers. I've got at least the last 4 years of data, and it's very, very good to see. I know a lot of people go, well, off market, there's some of these sales. What about this? I go, it's not like, you know, when even a wrong clock's right twice a day. And yes,
What do you have that called, that data?
market share in WhatsApp. Have you sent it?
Yep.
So even though,
share, got it.
yeah, so this is the closest thing to be able to track levels. And I've got trends in there where residential sales has been as low as 360 properties, and then we see it shoot up to 700. And it's a really good indication of where the market is at the moment. I'm going to open it up here for you guys.
Oh,
and David,
hey, there you go.
And David, this is okay, share screen.
This is cool data. This is
cool,
probably
especially if you love
numbers.
Yeah. I'd probably love to graph it and do that stuff with it. It'd look pretty cool, but let me open up, share.
What I love about this, and because you gave the professor version, I'll give the version feedy. It's dumbed down version. So basically, you know, when you see realestate.com, not a lot of people know on realestate.com that you can actually ask it that how many properties are available in that suburb. You can then extend that further, and because our area or our catchment is known as the Northern Beaches, there's 100,000 homes on the Northern Beaches. We can ask realestate.com, hey, how many properties do you have for rent on the Northern Beaches? So then what that means is we know how many, you know, there's 400 properties for sale on the Northern Beaches total that week. Now, how great would it be if you can chart that data back 5 years, 4 years, and then that's what Michael's done here. So we've actually got a real life snapshot of our area, which is it's probably consistent with most parts of Sydney and probably with most parts of Australia, where you can see the ebb and flow, the stock coming in and the stock going out. So we do that for rentals, residential. We look at how many properties in our core 100,000 area are for rent. We look at how many properties in our core Northern Beaches area for sale, and we do it for commercial as well. So we're going to share that data with you now. And if you've got any questions, throw it out real quick so we can answer it with this graph.
And just to show some little trends, like 2016, there were 600 properties Northern Beaches for lease. Then if you see down, so then it jumps up to 900. So this allows our property managers to know basically in a second where they should be with their rents. Is it a time to go up? Is it a time to go down? Because look, I'll show you some spikes where, look, 900, so 600 to 900, that's 30%. Then you got 990. It's hit 1,000 in 2018. So you're probably not going to want to be too bullish with your rent. And then you go back, look at this.
Can I say, I know that market. I know these markets, guys. I know when I see 1,000 on that number, if I'm a landlord, don't get cute with your rents.
Yeah.
Be really conservative. And I know when I see the number low, give me a low number, Mr. Burgio.
Yeah, like 650. Here we go. December 2019.
Okay, because don't forget, guys and girls, if you're looking at these properties that are on the market on the Northern Beaches, it sounds like there's a lot when you say 1,000 properties for rent.
Yep.
But there's 100,000 homes, so it's only 1% of the current homes are available for rent, and it doesn't mean they're vacant. It means they're being advertised for rent. Yep. So there's a number, right? If you're sitting at 1,200, that's pretty scary.
Yeah.
If you're sitting at 300 or 400, that's as low as the number is ever going to go. Because
I don't think rentals has ever been that. The lowest rentals has been the last 4 years is 650. And like what you said, Mark, look at this, how quickly it can change. So 4 weeks, so May 20, there was just under 11.
Is this COVID?
Yeah, COVID. April.
This is exciting.
1,100 properties for rent. Now 800. So within a month, you've got 200, almost 300 properties off. So it just is a really good indicator.
Okay, so this morning's segment is about optimizing and taking that window of opportunity right now to get a low rent for commercial, for residential, and you just showed us right there, right now, the best time to have taken that window was when there was 1,100 properties. When was that?
That was April 20th.
April 20th, which was 4 or 5 weeks ago.
27th of April. Yep.
Okay. Now, I believe, guys, that window is still open, that window of opportunity. And I believe you can see how fast that window is closing to secure something. So, ladies and gentlemen, guys and girls, support the community, support the economy. If you do need to make a change on rentals, there is a window of opportunity to secure well-priced, I'd even dare to say cheap rentals right now.
Yep. And owners are willing to deal, especially on commercial. It's a transitional market at the moment, and people rather it in there and someone into the property. But it's also really exciting for people who have had a lot of time in the last 3 months to reflect on what they want to do career-wise and business-wise. Now's a great time to get out and get into a shop that you may not have been able to afford to start your business, or you've had a small business from home. Now's a great time to get into to get out of the home office and try that different route, because you're getting it. It's really good.
It's forced change, because I know, Michael, you started talking about dark kitchens.
Yeah, dark kitchens.
Kitchens. What's a dark kitchen?
So a dark kitchen is either so you think of a restaurant, they're creating an off-site restaurant, either in a 40-foot container, which is quite popular in Melbourne, or a factory where they've got containers as well. I think I sent that to you last week. So dark kitchens has been really booming, and I'll tell you where they've been using it. So if you've got a restaurant but you may want to, so it's in behind Chapel Street in Melbourne. They've got a laneway with a couple of containers where they've got kitchens. So a restaurant will rent the dark kitchen, try a new cuisine, food, like handing it off food before they bring it into the restaurant. But that can work for a new business with the new product as well. So dark kitchens is we called it ghost kitchens 3 years ago, Mark. I think now the official term dark kitchens, but I think that's going to have a big transition as well. So smaller restaurants and producing, and Deliveroo, I think it's like 700, what was it? $700 million. 70, and I've got it, 76% year on year for the last 5 years. The delivery business is huge. It's in that article I sent you, Mark, on WhatsApp. Can you grab that from yesterday? Dark Kitchen, 2 days ago. WhatsApp.
76% growth year on year with Deliveroo. Yeah. That's how popular that segment is. Now, if you're in business and you haven't changed your business to accommodate this sort of explosive growth, I think you're a little bit dumb.
Oh, well said. Well said. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that is like that change. I don't care if you don't do Uber Eats or Deliveroo. I think that for the majority of people, if you haven't changed your business model rapidly, 76% year on year Deliveroo, that's incredible.
Yeah,
now,
it's like
another
million
thing,
or something outrageous. So if you're not on it, your competitor will be, because your consumers are on it. That's all that shows. You're finished.
Now, that also means that you're changing your real estate around probably as well, because the style of your format of your restaurant's going to be completely different if you're doing that many deliveries potentially. But I do have to say something I also felt strongly about was the amount of the change that people have been forced to have now. People call it a pivot. If you've pivoted rapidly in the last 12 weeks, you generally haven't pivoted back to the same position you're in.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So you've gone 180, 360, you've come back. You haven't come back to the same position. Now, the odds are that position is different. That's where your property appetite has changed as well very quickly. But have you made a move yet?
Yeah, it's spot on. And you either make it work with the existing premises, or you look for another one that may adapt. And an easy example in food business, either You may have a large restaurant, but you may do a new location half the size and get a factory and have a kitchen there, or locate somewhere with less seating, but you've got a side window so deliveries can come in and drivers can come in and out. So you've got to, I think if you're not accommodating, especially in food, a market that's growing 70, 80% year on year, you've got to be accommodating it. It's, there's not much more warning you can have. Otherwise you just won't be there. Because at the end of the day, we're at the mercy of the consumer. The consumer will make or break us. If you're trying to work against the consumer's pattern, you're not going to win, because they're our life, they're our business. We do what the consumer says. We're there to serve them. And if they want to order online, And
if
they want to order,
get out of the bloody way, you know.
Yep. If they want to order online, accommodate it. You may not agree with the Deliveroo and those charges. I think they are huge, 35%. Charge more, or create your own app, or do something. Like, don't just fight and put your head in the sand and say how much this sucks. Do something to do about it, because obviously the consumer, some don't know your pain with what it is, and some don't care. And and some don't care. So maybe you try and charge, I know some charge more, or create your own app, but people have voted with their money. They want to order online through a service. So you either have your own, but then again, Mark, think of the cost to develop a great app in the marketing. That's probably a lot. Let's say Deliveroo is charging 35% and you say it should only be 15%. If you look at 15% of your gross orders for the year, and let's say work out the cost of doing your own app and hundreds of thousands of marketing, or is the 15% extra you pay for them who do it?
And not only that, but there's promo there. You're getting you're getting under the nose of people that want to eat right now, or don't book quick. So you're positioning your product in a beautiful area. But today, what we are talking about, and which to sum everything up, is we're talking about that window of opportunity to secure a residential rental or a commercial rental. It's just that super hyper incredible value is still presently there. We can see it in those numbers, but that window is closing, and proof of that in our business is that we were sitting at an all-time high in our business, never to be repeated, 67 properties for rent, where we would normally sit at 30, 40. And then further proof of that is with commercial. We have done so many commercial deals in the last 2 weeks. And it's like, what's happening out there? Why are there that many deals being done? Our core area of DY is synonymous for having a lot of stuff for rent. We're almost dry.
Yeah. Luke says fire up, boys. Yeah, especially with that delivery, because I obviously hear it from the consumer's end, but like what you said, Mark, you're by being on those apps, you are dealing with people who want to buy now. And I reckon 60% of the time, the food I was going to buy on the app is not the one I end up buying. So that business from being on there has benefited from being on it and wouldn't have got my business.
It's a promo.
It's a promo.
So it's not just the marketing. It's not just the delivery process and the guy on a bike or the guy in a car. It's actually a promo for yourself. But you've got to understand, another thing that's been rapid fire change is you're not spending your money in the newspaper. You're actually getting a free plug from Instagram, LinkedIn, or Facebook. So if I look at our newspaper budgets, which were 3 or 4, 500,000 per year in our business, that's gone to naught. So I can't. Now, I understand that I'm probably spending the equivalent in time and resources, wages, by getting out there on social. We don't sponsor our social a lot. But, guys, you've just got to realise that, when these windows of opportunities present themselves, you can be licking your wounds and saying, nah, bloody Uber, bloody Deliveroo, this sucks. or you can forge and go forward and take that window of opportunity that we're talking about. You know, I see now 2-bedroom units for rent in our area, beautiful 2-bedroom units for $550 a week. And I'm thinking, man, that was $700. You know, like this is a great time to get a cracker rental. If you wanted to get off your bum, you'd be getting out of your 1-bedroom unit that you're paying $550 for and getting into a unit, a 2-bedroom with views for $550, $600. So, do you know what I mean? It's taking that window of opportunity.
I do, and Leslie made a good point. All these apps had employed several people whom would have been unemployed as hospitality operators. I can tell that consumers are happy to pay extra by convenience. Convenience always wins. It has been a win-win at the end of the day, in my opinion. I agree. Michael Edwards, what would your spend on social 2015 to 2020? I think I saw mine. Michael Edwards' social media spend. I think mine's not that much. 20 to, I've seen it. I think it's only like 40 grand over the time, which is 5 to 10 grand a year. Mine personally, I think because I know on reports, I think it's 40K I've spent.
Yeah, look, I think our newspaper spend alone would have been close to 300-400K, and I know our social media spend for direct marketing, sponsorship on social media would be sitting probably between about 10,000, 15,000.
There's a couple ways to do it. You either do less and sponsor it or do a lot of quality content. And I think one thing we've had really good success is really good content and not just properties, like the morning minutes, Monday night, and a lot of interaction. So I think what we have the ability to spend less because of the content we offer compared to some other agents who are just promoting properties. But I think that really get a following.
I think that labour side of it, Michael Edwards, who's asked the question, I think that if you look at, I think net would be probably even with newspaper now, because videographers, photographers, time, you know, I know if you look at your time that you spend just on these mornings, Michael, and your time that you spend on social, if you looked at all of our times, I think you'd have massed that up to about the same dollar value. So I do think net, we're probably right, but for the consumer, the quality of information has just exploded. So that newspaper sometimes told the same story 4 weeks in a row. You know, you booked an ad for a property. Most agents booked one ad and it ran for 4 weeks. Now that quality of content that's going out on instant media is phenomenal. It's rapid fire. It's every single day. It's wrapping itself around more. It's feeding itself more if people like that comment. It's feeding itself less if people don't like that comment.
Yep. Yeah, as Mike says, I haven't bought or read a newspaper for 2 years. Same. Alrighty, I think that's a take. Really good interaction with all the guys today and ladies. Thanks, Lesio, Michael, Luke. Always good to have you on and shooting questions at us. And David, really appreciate it. Cassiano, I'll speak to you soon, buddy. Fabulous Cleaning on Instagram. What did Fab say?
Chase Real Estate. Fab's there's Fab. Hey, Fab.
Guys.
Fab's got great content.
There's always a lot of
opportunity. North Narrabeen Laundry. It's Chad Cohen, Richard Holt. G'day, Michael, the Taylor legend. Yes. John, how are you? Tara, how are you? Okay, guys.
Thank you, everyone. Cheers.
Love you. See you. Bye.